Oh boy, the Hawks take home a win. We've got a 5-point win and a thriller at the traditional happy hunting ground of UTAS in Launceston in front of a vocal Hawthorn crowd, which was lovely to see. Our defenders showing another solid performance. We had Amon, they avoided leather poisoning. Meek in the mids showing a good fight. We had Watson kicking a couple of goals, which was lovely to see for him. And second game, I believe it was, as Captain Dylan Moore sporting a decent gash. Looked like he'd done a few rounds in a boxing ring, and a big smile as he lifted the blue ribbon cup. So welcome one and all. My name is Matt. I've got Liam here. We are here for you to enjoy that win. And hopefully you can chime in with your comments and we will have a good chat and enjoy two on the trot. Liam, how are you, first of all, as we kick off?
Going well. Been busy up, obviously, but nice to see the Hawks get over the line this weekend. Yep.
Beautiful. Absolutely it was. So I'll keep an eye on the comments here, but Craig's first in with absolutely some great maturity by the young team. It was nice seeing Father Bruce jump in straight off the bench as a sub and impact with the goal within a few minutes. But these two going strong week after week.
Scrimshaw was immense down back. He basically played the Sicily role and a key defender almost in one. And then Meek and Rowan Marshall as a head-to-head ruck battle made me very happy watching that. And yeah, Anthony, 100% agree. They would have been two of the top 5 players on the ground. And just watching those two going head-to-head all day was honestly one of the few more watchable parts of this game.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome to some of our regulars there. It was absolutely, Dalton, a tough win. I was a little bit worried. I was a bit edge of the seat by the end of the match there, but we've got there. It's nice to see it. Yes. Regardless of what it was, you take it, don't you, Peter? Liam thinks yes.
The answer is yes, but 4 points is 4 points.
Yeah. You would be disappointed, wouldn't you, if you didn't get a win? We led all game. That hasn't been done in a Hawthorn victory for, I haven't gone back, but quite a while. If anyone's a stats guru, please chime in with that. I like it, Jim. Absolutely. Great defending. Defending. Didn't surrender. Again, undersized. Very solid. Saints just were a finalist last year. So that's probably hurt their season a bit. And, geez, if we snuck that one against Collingwood, probably should have won against the Bombers. We're around the bottom of the 8 if a couple go our way. Injuries playing a part. But anyway, enjoying today. There we go. Craig's liking it. What did you think of Watto, fans? Tell us. He was in the action. He's flying. He's having a good crack.
Yeah, well, I think I said a couple of weeks ago, I think it was on a 6 points. I think it was on a 6 points. He's getting 4 shots at goal playing as a small forward in a poor side. Eventually it's going to click. And we saw the first little glimpses of that today. I think he's only just turned 19, I haven't checked when his date of birth is. I think he's just turned 19 not too long ago from memory. He may, or is it October birthday? I'll look him up. Someone let me know his precise date of birth in the comments. But yeah, he's very young. And the fact he's getting as many shots at goal as he is, we know he can put it through. We saw it at junior level. Eventually it's going to click. And again, we saw the first little signs of that today. And yeah, it's you can't say it's discouraging, put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I've missed this one by Steve at Albo in the huddle. Well, he's out at Dingley, and if they're doing their thing as a federal government, helping the Hawks get set up for the next century, then an Albo appearance here and there, I can live with it. We won't go political. For reasons related to my employment, I'm certainly not going to make a political statement other than that I do believe he's a genuine Hawthorn supporter. That's all I'm going to say. We've seen him on stage having a bit of a sing. So Cody's liking it. Hell of a win. challenged, really showed heart to hang in there. Absolutely, we did. I was a bit worried they were going to take Morey off with that gash. Luckily, they didn't. What do you, Meekie needing some support? I honestly, for the amount, he's obviously taking the lion's share and some. He's still competing well. Maybe by the end, and he wasn't the only one. They were slowing down a little bit at the end of the game, but I think he's travelling nicely. Who chopped out today was Nashi a little bit.
I think it was mainly Nash. I think I didn't track the centre bounce. I think Meek would have taken almost all of them. Yeah. I think Nash chopped out a bit as just a physical body.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nash, it's a bit of a weird one. Mark Blixar was probably the only real other player who does it. And I'm not saying Connor Nash is a Mark Blixar's level player, to be very clear. They're different players, obviously, but that plays on ball and then takes hit outs as well. It's quite a unique one.
And well, look, I actually had to go back because I'm like, geez, he's Meekie, just to pump him up a little bit. Last few games, round 8, 1 goal against the Dogs. Round 7, 1 goal against the Swans. Round 6, 2 goals against the Roos. Today, he's got a goal. In his 38-game career, beginning in 2021, he hasn't played many games, remember. This is his highest goal tally for a season. And we're at round 9, and he's not losing his spot in a hurry. So I like a ruckman that's kicking a goal, and it comes straight off the boot. He's a good kick.
Yeah, he's a terrific kick for goal. I mean, Ben McAvoy was the same for us, like just a very reliable set shot for goal, which is great because I'm not really sure I want my 203-centimetre ruckman crumbing and snapping.
Yeah.
I much prefer seeing them take set shots.
He tried to snap one last week that was smothered, but he was right in front. I'm sure he would have pegged it if he would have notched up another one. But anyway, he's going well. This was great, Paul. Yep. Carl Amon just looking one way. It just does it the other way. To Impey, and away we go. That was tremendous at the time of the game. And we were just talking beforehand. Carl just racks him up. I didn't really, wasn't massive and like standing out, impacting the game as I was sort of watching it from the couch. But Liam, you're thinking your thoughts on Impey? Oh, sorry, on Amon.
Just watching him, I mean, you may not notice him because he's not a flashy player. He's very functional, I guess, if you like. He's very just get the ball, hit the target, keep it moving. But he hits targets a lot of our other players can't hit. And, that kick to Impey, we don't have a lot of players who can hit it that distance and get it there that quickly so that it doesn't get closed down. Because often a team will often invite that kind of kick and basically back the fact it's going to hang in the air so they can crunch the poor bloke sitting under it and then send it back the other way.
Yeah.
But Amon, his distribution today, I thought was exceptional. And that's more than his accumulation, because a lot of his accumulation did come from taking kickouts. He went at 94% efficiency today and gained 711 metres.
With 31.
So that's more, and of which 24 were kicks.
Yeah.
So like that's what I was looking at, is that distribution. And that's really what stood out to me, because at times out of defence, you're often going rushed and long.
Yeah.
But bang, just 50, 60 metres, hit the target every time. Just that ability to get it out of defence. And that's why we moved him down back. I still would probably prefer him on the wing because we've got a lot of good kicks down back. And I would like that kind of kicking going inside our forward 50. But you can't argue with the performance he put out there today, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah. It was nice on a few fronts. C-Mac, first goal of the game, coming off the contract extension announcement. So with us till 2026. Played 49 out of 53 games since he's been taken in the national draft. Picked 26 in 2022. Dylan's, what do we get? No comments. Hold on. Yeah, Chewy King. No forwards of size, but Guinea and Watson were great. I'd love to see Guinea just really. His shots at goal. He could be up a few more goals on his tally for the year, but he's having a good crack, which is nice.
I mean, he's still only 21. People seem to think he's been around for ages. I think he's only 21. He turns 22
Yeah.
November from memory. By the way, Nick Watson turned 19 in February, by the way. I looked that up. So just for completeness, early discussion.
Perfect.
But,
Nice to see. Nice to see Punk.
So young.
Yeah. Kalsha had a good game by, competing wise in some of the contests, giving up a little bit of height. I wasn't sure when I was ready for Punk to come on in that third quarter a little bit earlier than they did. It wasn't too far off, but I was looking around and thinking, oh, geez, who is it? I thought they would have left Kalsha on just for the height, but the size, they did well with that. I probably would have thought it might have been, maybe another small forward with Punky, a like-for-like replacement possibly. I don't know, maybe Gunston. His smarts were good across the day, but anyway.
Gunston was impacting a lot of contests as well. Wilkie and Howard were superb, and so was Mason Wood for St Kilda. Yeah. But Gunston was able to affect a lot of contests just by getting a body there in time to bring the ball to ground and allow those smalls to get into it again. I would have, to be honest, McGuinness is probably the player I would have taken off just to shift the energy around the forward line a bit, because it didn't seem like he had a defensive role, and he was fine. He got into good spots. His work rate you can never question.
Yeah,
I probably would have changed the game style and put Bruce out there as well, and it also would have made it a clearer cut Hardwick to defence as well.
They moved him through the day, which is interesting. I think McGuinness had 6 possessions at the time because I was having a look. Mitchell had 8. D had 4. But look, credit to the coaching decisions. We got the victory. That's the main thing. So keep your comments coming. What do we got? Yeah, Scrimmer, huge game, running theme, aim on, absolutely. We've covered some of these guys. Geez, right. Nashi hasn't been mentioned as yet. Interesting. What do we think about it, fans? I don't mind, some chop out. He competes hard. Some rucks it's not going to work too well against. But, hey,
I'd still rather see someone like a Max Ramsden or something in the side. One, it would mean our forward line's a bit taller. Maybe or Chol's the other one as well, obviously, when he's fit. Offers a good physical presence as well. I think ideally one of those two would be doing it as opposed to one of your rovers, because I think it compromises his work as an on-baller a bit as well, because it conflates the two roles.
Yeah.
But that being said, his size and physicality around the middle is still very valuable. It certainly does a good job protecting the young kids, because I don't know about you, I'm not going to go rough up a young kid if I know I'm going to have to deal with Connor Nash. So.
Well, and this is I haven't checked the stats on this, but hit outs to advantage, and that's why he can handle the load. So a bit of a pinch hit every now and then. Look, we're still, the midfield did a pretty solid job today. So
realistically, it's a 5 to 7 minute chop out a quarter.
Yeah, there we go, Tom. I'm going to trust you on this one. Make 47 hit outs. It's very solid, very solid. This was a bit of a, one of those moments where Sarong just right towards that end, just getting a hand on it, that just getting a mitt made all the difference on that wing there where we went forward and kicked that last goal. So love seeing a big fella competing below the knees or someone coming at him. He did well. Just racing through these comments here. Can you check them? Have you got the stats there, Liam? Meters gained. I don't know. This has got to be Carl, doesn't it?
Yes, that is Carl Amon. I didn't need to check that. I knew that I'd seen that set already. I didn't need to check that one.
There we go. Very good. What across the game, the backs again, 2 weeks in a row, really solid. There was the one goal where I was Frosty got rewarded a kick just outside defensive 50, tried to hit Meek. It was one of the only times we got caught out all day. This was in the fourth when it ended up coming back in pretty fast to King, and King kicked a goal to bring it within 5 points. At that point, a scrim was up there. Weddle was the only one sort of that was starting to push back. So we only really got exposed once for the height, and even Frosty right at the end there, King trying to go for that last ditch grab. Good kick, got enough of his let's call it what it was, to get the ball down and help us get that victory.
I normally annoy people I watch the footy with by being a pretty staunch umpire defender. I actually think that was a correct call. I think the arm contact was quite minimal, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have annoyed a lot of Hawks fans who have been going off at umpires by saying, no, that's actually the correct call. Here's why. So, I'm not looking at that through. I think I'm looking at that through a pretty impartial lens. I think the contact was very minimal on the arm. But I do remember that kick from Frost as well. It was really the one time all season, frankly, where he's confused ambition and ability a little bit. So,
but
I've loved his work all season.
These comments are flying. I'm nowhere near keeping up here. A little bit hard, Jace. You take it to get higher on the ladder. You can only play the opponent you've got that round. So it's good. It's good to get a win. Alrighty, what do we got? I'm just going to keep flicking, but as I do, really keen to know, midfield, Day, Nuke, Warple, for different passages, Nash, all four of them really imposed themselves. I loved seeing that side. They weren't clicking the same way we saw them for longer periods last season, but just to see all four of them putting their hands up for different patches, that's really encouraging for me. Liam, Daisy, running back into a little bit of form, just his smarts. Geez, we've missed his smarts, haven't we?
Well, we've also missed his ability to get outside as well, because Newcomb, Warple, Nash, Newcomb probably the least of the three, they're all much more comfortable being that first possession midfielder. Newcomb's a little bit more comfortable on the outside. He's also a bit more comfortable forward as well. Actually, one of my brothers just loves seeing Newcomb up forward, and I can see why as well. But those three are all very much first possession midfielders, whereas Will Day is more of that second possession midfielder who likes to get it out and be that clean distributor. Cam McKenzie, I think, is the same, by the way, except just needs a bit more time. He likes to sit back and get it behind and then kind of go either way. That's very similar to Sam Mitchell.
Yeah.
But watching, I think Will Day kind of makes all their roles a bit clearer, and it means they're all not playing outside of their remit. So when it's Newcomb, Warple, Nash, let's say, in there together, Newcomb knows he has to sit out. But when there's no real relief and no, that extra outside runner's not in there, they feel a bit, it doesn't quite work without Day at least being part of that rotation, because he's the only one who has the combination of outside work through run and ball use at the moment. McKenzie doesn't quite have the run yet, and some of the others don't quite have the ball use. So I think Will Day just kind of, he makes everyone else better because he's A, very good and draws attention, and B, has the skill set that complements the other three. So I think that's why, and Stephen's just said it there, he's the glue to the midfield. He's the piece that kind of ties everything else together. And I think bringing him back has also elevated the games of the other three as well, maybe with the exception of Warple, because he was already going very well. Yeah.
Look, and to add to the midfield, conversation, Frenchie, I'm loving it. Chris and Daz, I think Chris brought on him, but Daz gave him a resounding yes on the last week's 6 points pod. Cam is going into tackle, into traffic. He's riding it. He's not taking a backward step at all, and he's often getting a possession off nicely these days. Really positive to see, taking the game on. So
the other thing I'd like to mention today as well, he sustained his output through the game a lot more. He's struggled with that. Like you go through his stat sheets, even if you take out the games where he's been subbed, because that becomes a bit unfair, obviously. He's normally dropped off, often not insignificantly, after half time. Whereas today, 16 went 4, 3, 4, 5. So he actually had more in the second half this time. And I haven't run the numbers on how often that's happened, but it's not a lot. So it was nice that he was able to sustain his output a bit more. And his ball use by foot is really, really encouraging. He does still need to build that bit more of that running base.
Yeah.
But he's done one full elite level preseason. That'll come with time.
Yeah.
And as he gets part of that midfield rotation, which we'll probably see someone like a Newcombe spending a bit more time forward as well. It's exciting to see what the guy can do, because he's still only, I think he's turned 20 pretty recently. In January he turned 20. Like he's not 21 until next year. So
yeah. Conversations are forward, mid, back, and we're sort of touched on some of it. I'll try and give a little bit of theme here as we talk through it, but I'm going to briefly jump back. This could be a good call. Possibly that. And then question from, there we go, was Paul. Are we perhaps moving towards a Gunston Bruce sub-rotation once we get some height back? Yes, I would imagine, would be my guess. Fans can give it your thoughts. Someone here also mentioned with Chad coming back in, C-Mac's probably going to make it hard for him to get back in. C-Mac probably, yeah. That's not a bad call. Sorry, whoever mentioned that. I'm sort of scrolling up and down here. All these comments is flying. Keep it coming.
The person who's going to be most excited when all these players come back, by the way, is Zane Littlejohn. It's going to push a whole load of others back to Box Hill, and he's going to be very happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's 1:30 tomorrow. If you can get down there for Mother's Day, take your mum.
Yeah, big double head up.
Buy her a Box Hill scarf or Hawks scarf. On the colours.
Big double header. First game's 11:30.
There we go. So I think forwards today. Look, are you happy with the output? We came out kicking pretty straight. We started to struggle a little. What do you make of the forward entry today? Because that's been perhaps one question mark on us.
At times it was better, and at times also it was clearly too high for a forward line that's not very tall. And Dougal Howard and Callum Wilkie very much enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Especially Callum Wilkie, he would have been in St Kilda's top 2 or 3 players. He was sublime. Yeah.
This is a cracker forward moment highlight. Yeah. Geez, bullet kick. When you've got your Carl, Amons, your Daisies. Seamus has got one of those boots on him too. We've got a few boys that can just really put it right where it needs to go. And it's often not the main part of his game. Even Nash's delivery to Watson as well, I think in the third quarter, where Watson didn't break stride to take the mark and run through to the open goal. Yeah. It's the one thing with these veterans. You saw Brewsty in the dugout encouraging, talking to all the forwards. You've got that level head, Gunston, getting around them when they're kicking a goal. Really, you see that. I know it's very noticeable, which is probably very underrated. It's not always output. I think Gunners he's not really flying for as much at the moment. It's not going to be his game moving forward, I wouldn't have thought, but he was getting it down, like you said, Liam, to the ground, which was really important thing with the small forwards we had today. So I think I said it when we got him back. Gunston's main value will be Monday to Friday. Well, we'll take it. He's going to have some scoring moments, I'm sure. Well, he's incredibly valuable Monday to Friday. Like, to be very clear, I think his primary value is what he can offer Monday to Friday. And on weekends, what we're going to see more of is that impact on other players as opposed to him. Yeah. Be interesting when Chol comes back, who comes back in next week if he's available. As far as some tall options, but geez, we did well today, just making the most of it. I liked Dimmer going forward and back. It's interesting watching, the momentum of the game. At times, I think we threw Daisy back towards the end to be a little bit of a spare, not being at the ground. Perhaps some of you can elaborate a little further, but from the armchair, it was. It's nice to see them making some moves mid-quarter and doing enough. A couple of comments from Paul and Craig that I can see definitely agree with both of those. Paul, his Gunston Saturday work definitely does go all right. Yeah. And Craig, liking seeing the way Colsha
brings the ball to ground as well.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a few comments on Wingard quickly as well. I think he's still on manage. I think he's still playing managed minutes for another couple of weeks. I'd be perhaps surprised if we see him at this point almost before the bye at the elite level, because I think, piecing together some things I've heard, he might be playing another 2 or 3 games on managed minutes at the state league level. I could be wrong, but
yeah,
I don't think he's playing a full game this week. Put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good. You want the players to pick from, don't you? We've got our own sponsored player in Denver coming back for Box Hill tomorrow, which excited to see how he goes after the turf toe. So we do have a Hawks player sponsorship lane. We've been part of that with the Talking Hawks. Got a sponsor trivia night coming up where you can meet Jai Newcomb and Denver Granger Barras, get a photo with them as part of our player sponsor group. So if you want to be involved in that, if you're able to contribute $100 or more to our player sponsor group, it's going to be on Tuesday, the 21st of May at Glenferrie Hotel. So these players events are really great just to rub shoulders. There'll be a couple of tickets for one person that we pull out of the hat from the group that's helped us support the players this year. So we have to RSVP by Monday. So if you can, jump onto the Talking Hawks website, go to the player sponsorship. Get involved, support the club, show your passion. So it'll be good to see what they come up with tomorrow. He's just been really focused. I think we will see him play a few, I would guess, a couple of games at Box Hill at least. And then probably that back half's really settled. Well, he's settling, let me say, not really settled. It's going to be a matchups thing again. He's going to be challenged to probably push for a spot. I don't know whether their forward experiment will come back in if we have Chol and Lewis continuing to carry some injuries. So it'll be interesting to watch. But yeah, he's been in good spirits. So it's great. I think we got CJ as well. Good call, Noah. Yeah, it'd be great to see CJ. Hopefully, where does CJ fit back in? Again, good challenge for position and spots.
Yeah, happiest person in that's going to be Zane Littlejohn, because only 23 can play at the top level each week.
Yeah. Question here from Peter. Big improvers. I think someone said Scrimmer top 3 in the club best and fairest earlier. I didn't show that one up, but Meekie's got to be right up there. Impy's travelling nicely.
Frost?
For this season, yes, absolutely. Frost, great call.
If you go to year, Frost has shown this defensive ability his entire career. It's now been drawn more to the forefront because, frankly, we've seen less of him pushing his limits.
Yeah. It's, big improver. I would say Massimo.
I didn't watch him last year, so I can't judge that.
He's gone very well. Albeit a new player, so you can't compare him to last year in the Hawks colours, but been really solid. Good. He's surprised me. He's given his output's been better than I was expecting.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Yeah, this is take the good with the bad. Peter's chiming in a lot with some good things. Day's kick at times is absolutely phenomenal, and I think his IQ is very good as well.
Yeah.
I think every time he does something that's a rainmaker type, I feel like is very intentional. There's other players that perhaps kick it a little bit rainmaker, and I'm not quite sure it's as calculated. And maybe they've got less space at times. Absolutely, granted, not necessarily counting those. I'm not loving the high balls, but especially today when we've got a smaller midfield, I think the guys did a job to try to bring it to ground at times. Kalsha did a great hit out. I was on the wing. I can't recall who it was to. Maybe Maury. and it was half forward flank, and someone ran onto it. Just the awareness to do that. His awareness on the other one, which got commented on earlier, where he's spoiled Dimmer. Oh, look, it's all right. Second gamer.
And that being said, though, I did send a message to my family football chat saying incredible defensive effort from Culture. Shame was on half.
Ice for the ball, you can't question it. So
superb defensive effort. The only problem was it was on his teammate.
And you don't know how much faster the ball moves at the AFL level compared to the VFL level as well. So the kid's out there competing. So yeah, he'll learn from that absolutely. I think this is in relation to one of the most improved. I think he's coming. I think his form last year was better at this point of this season by last year as a benchmark.
I mean, he was close to our best player last year. So
yeah.
I think he was.
Yeah, others agreeing with the BNF sort of top ones there. Thank you.
The only reason Meek might not be in the top three is he missed the first 2 games, but that's going to start becoming less relevant if he only reigns at 2 missed games.
Yeah.
The voting system is very, very helpful if you play a lot of games. It's very much a system that rewards volume of games.
Yeah. The pressure across the board, Fox put up a stat about it was in the first quarter, mind you, but the high pressure by an AFL standard, both teams were absolutely going for it. I think there was really strong patches through the whole game where our pressure was very good and keeping the ball in when we needed to, just outnumbering them, outworking them to get to contests and do that, or perhaps that's our system as well working. But yeah, I think a really good effort as far as the pressure from the forwards. Absolutely. Times it was just locked in for good periods. Weren't always getting it on the scoreboard, but there we go. I think bit of a golden fist. Pay that. We love you, Kelsh. This is a good call, Craig. There was one or two. There was another one as well, Frenchie. I think he had enough space to have a shot on goal. I wouldn't have minded it. He did that extra handball, Frenchie, I'm talking about. Sorry. Mackenzie, for those that may not know, Frenchie. But Mass, great kick. Happy for him to have a shot at any time. Same with Hardwick. Just in that congested pack, he kicked a point. There's hardly any time in space for him, but he's still got a snap out. I love seeing Dimmer have those shots as well. Very good. I think we will start to wrap it up shortly, but it's been nice to get a win for you all. I think enjoy this 2 in a row. We were underdogs in this one going in, even though it was a home game. I think we've ended up having a solid output. One question that did come up, we didn't quite get to. Scrimshaw, did he come off towards the end? Was there anything injury-wise there? I haven't heard. I haven't seen the...
Not that I've seen or observed. I'm just quickly checking something to see if I can find any more.
Okay, post-game.
I'm checking the match report, and the match report on the AFL website has no flag for an injury at the moment. So,
yeah,
that's all I've got to go off at the moment.
Yeah. I thought Carl would have kicked that kick from outside 50 as well. Sorry, just reading some of the comments here. Thinking shots on goal. There you go. Hawks odds, gamble responsibly, but we're already it's long next week. $5.10 we're paying.
Next week is Port Adelaide in Adelaide, 3:20 on Sunday. There is some Hawks footy in Victoria, though. Before that, there's a 12 o'clock game, Box Hill VFLW against Darebin.
There we go.
Which I'll be at.
Port is always a cauldron. Get to all the VFLW you can. Get behind the brown and gold, but I think we've had a good performance to get a win on the road, albeit a home game against the Saints. It's been good. It's been a really solid performance. I think we'll wrap it up, Liam, with people enjoying. We've loved having your company today, everyone. But if you get a chance, get involved with the player sponsorship. We love the club. We'd love to have you join us. We'd love to have you at some of our functions and whatnot through the year. If you can, get along to all the interstate games for those in South Oz or travelling next week. Go and make some noise like they did in Tassie today. It was a great effort. And Liam, thanks for joining me tonight.
Or join me when we play the Giants in round 19 in the ACT. And bring a jacket, it'll be cold.
Love it.
Canberra is really cold.
Well, listen out for the pod. Timmy dropped a ripper with Simo, backline coach. Definitely worth a listen to hear how that group is coming together, and some good moments there in that chat. 6 points will be out with Liam and Timmy, and watch out for our MVP. But thank you one and all, and we'll give you a big one. Go the Hawks. Get up.